Hello humans, welcome to this video. If you're new here, that's my name. This is where I'm from. This is what this channel is about, and that's what you should do about it. You probably clicked on this video because you want to know how to live more sustainably, and good job clicking on the video because we are going to talk about 10 ways to be more sustainable. Let's go. Zero waste, sustainability, all that stuff has now become a trend, and I am here for it. I love that it's become a trend because people follow trends, and this is a trend that should definitely be followed. So, if you want to be in, if you want to be trendy, follow this trend. None others, just this one. All right? The very first thing that I'm going to tell you is probably the most important. Like, this whole video can just be summarized into this one thing. Listen to me carefully. If you think that you need to buy something in order to be able to live a more sustainable life, you're doing it wrong. Let me say that again. You don't need to buy anything to live a more sustainable life. Use what you have, okay? That is the first tip. Use what you have. I know that all these zero waste, Pinterest posts and videos and like aesthetic perfect lives have all these like mason jars that are all lined one next to the other. They're all perfectly labeled. They're perfectly symmetrical. They all look the same. It's this like super aesthetic kitchen vibe that I'm here for. Like, I love it. Don't get me wrong. That is cute. It's cute. However, that's not really what sustainability is about. Sustainability is not having the perfect aesthetic Pinterest-worthy kitchen and the Pinterest-worthy bathroom. Sustainability is about not needing to acquire more in order to achieve more. It's about using what you already have. Did you get Chinese takeout? Use the plastic container that you got from it to store food instead of throwing it away like we did here. Did you get all these glass jars of pickles, jams, pickled jams? Use those jars, upcycle those jars. And pro tip, if you get a pickle jar and you don't want to use it because it smells like pickles, you just drop 1 or 2 drops of essential oils in there, keep it closed for a couple hours, and bam, boom, bada bing. It doesn't smell like pickles anymore. And if you don't want it to smell like the oil, just keep it open for a couple hours and boom, bada boom. It doesn't smell anymore. Easy peasy. Use what you have. Going off of using what you have, I think you should only buy a new product when buying that product solves a problem. Let me give you an example of solving a problem and not solving a problem. So for instance, Marcus and I use Q-tips. We're huge Q-tip users, okay? We love Q-tips. And using disposable Q-tips, whether they're made of plastic or bamboo, is not the best. It's not the most sustainable thing. The most sustainable thing is always gonna be what lasts longer, like something that you can reuse, rather than something disposable, as compostable as the disposable thing might be. So we were faced with this problem. We use Q-tips. We don't want to be wasteful. Therefore, what's the solution? Silicone reusable Q-tips. See? So it's not like I saw that there's silicone Q-tips out there and decided, ooh, if I want to be sustainable, I must have that thing. We were faced with a problem, found a solution, proceeded to purchase. See how that works? And allow me to illustrate the opposite example. Bamboo or wooden cutlery for takeout. They're super cute and aesthetic. The little fork and the little spoon and the little knife all rolled into this like cute cloth to take out so that you don't have to use plastic cutlery when you go out to eat. Great, awesome idea. However, you could just do the exact same thing with cutlery you have at home. I know it's not as aesthetic, but remember, we're not going for the aesthetic trend. And that's how you can tell the people that are here for the trend as opposed to people who are here to make a change, a real change. People who are here to make a real change will use what they have. Now, say that you did recognize a problem. You identified a problem that requires you to acquire a new item. Go in the following order. This is tip number 3. First, ask around with your acquaintances, friends, family, if any of them have this item that is no longer in use that they can give you. For instance, you need a new vacuum. Ask around if somebody has a vacuum they no longer need that they can give you. It might not be the vacuum that you wanted, but it's a vacuum, it gets the job done. If none of your friends or families or acquaintances have what you're looking for, then the next thing is to get it secondhand. Go to a thrift store. Go wherever. Actually, a thrift store is the only place you can go. Go there and try to find a vacuum. Go there and try to find the beach towel you're looking for, the rug, the couch, the chair. Go there. If you can't find it in a secondhand store, which is very likely, and I suggest you hit multiple secondhand stores before you give up. Because the thing about secondhand stores, they don't all have the same stuff, and they don't always have all the stuff. You just gotta really go for a treasure hunt over there. But the third thing to do is to find it from a sustainable store. Get it from a place that actually has sustainability in mind, a place that actually has the same goals as you do, and try to get it from there. The example of the vacuum might not be the best because I can't think of a single sustainable store that sells vacuums, but beach towels, chairs, lamps, clothes, all that, just sustainable store. And at the very end of the process, if you couldn't find it from somebody that would give it or sell it to you, if you couldn't find it in a secondhand store, and if you couldn't find it in a sustainable store, then you can completely, with a clean conscience, get it from like a normal, regular store. I'm not saying you couldn't just get it from a regular store with a clean conscience, and I'm not saying you should feel bad for going to the regular store as a first resort. It's just you clicked on this video asking me for something and I'm giving you my opinion, okay? If you don't like it, just click out. My fourth tip, I think it's the fourth, is to reject fast fashion. I feel very passionately about this. I actually wrote an article going hand in hand with like the meat industry and fast fashion. It's gonna be linked down below and you can read all about it in full length. But basically, fast fashion is not sustainable. If you go and pay all this money for a shirt that was worth all this money and people working to the bone to make it, so that next week you can throw it away because it's no longer in trend, so that you can buy a new one, it's just not sustainable, okay? It's not. What is sustainable is getting capsule wardrobe items, stuff that is staple fashion, a white cotton t-shirt that is never gonna go out of trend, and getting it from fabrics that are going to last, something that you're getting not to use for 10 minutes and then get rid of, something that you plan on using for the next 10 years, something that you can match with everything, you can combine with all your stuff, and you can wear a lot, get a lot of use out of that. It's true sustainability, my friend. Next up, going off of the same thing and going off of the same article, it is very sustainable to replace some foods. All right, I'm not gonna get super mega into it. You can do your own research, but basically the meat industry, the milk industry. I'm not vegan. Disclaimer, I'm not a vegan. I'm like pseudo-vegetarian. I would like catalog myself as like fishitarian. Is that like a thing where you like don't eat meat but you eat fish? Anyway, but I'm not a vegan, okay? I'm just saying the meat industry, the milk industry, a lot of food industries are just not sustainable at all. And if being sustainable is something that interests you, then maybe you can explore replacing some of those foods for some that are more sustainable. And overall, it's just better for your body, to be honest, and the world. Look a cow in the eye and just, okay? I have looked at many a cow in the eye enough to be able to not eat them ever again. Next step is to shop local. Shop local. I'm not talking necessarily about shopping in store as opposed to shopping online, because that is like a huge controversy and it depends on shipping amounts and overnight, and like there's a lot of factors that make online shopping more or less sustainable than in-store shopping. But I'm referring purely to local shopping. Get something from your area that was manufactured there, put together there, made there, as opposed to something from China that they had to bring to your door through airplane and ship and bus and car and trolley in order to get it to your door. It's better to get something handmade, locally made. And speaking of handmade, since I mentioned it, this is not necessarily about sustainability, but it's just like an overall human experience, good advice. Buying from your local artists or your local artisans, that's always a good thing. It's always a good thing. Support the right kind of economy is what I'm saying. My next tip is to stay informed. You have heard me in this video talk about some things, mention some things. I haven't gotten like super deep into it because it is my intention that you seek out information, okay? Speaking of getting information, .edu, .org, .gov. Those are pretty much the three .somethings that you should trust before you trust .net, .com, .whatever. Look for your information in the right places from the right sources. Some cute Pinterest post talking about how cotton is the most sustainable industry is just not gonna cut it. It might not be true, which actually it isn't. So what I'm saying is stay informed, stay up to date, follow certain foundations, follow the news on sustainability and what is causing a major or minor impact in our world. Stay informed. Don't let people explain the world to you. Go out there and find the information yourself. My 8th tip, and this goes off of not buying things, using what you have, is when something has reached the end of its life, don't throw it away right away. I'm not saying you can't ever throw away anything. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying try to find a new use for it. So for instance, you have a body towel, a shower towel, drying towel that you have used for several years, and now it is to a point where it just doesn't really carry that function very well. Instead of just chucking it, cut it up in little pieces and use it to clean your toilet, clean your bathroom, clean the floor, clean whatever. Just cut it up and reuse it. Give it a new life. You have a mug that fell and the handle broke off, so now it's too hot to hold. Use it as a pencil holder. Use it as a toothbrush holder. You know what I'm saying? Just find new uses for what you have before you just check it. My 9th tip is kind of a fun one. It's to encourage you to do what you're doing exactly right now. Keep watching videos on zero waste, on sustainability, on minimalism, all these things to keep yourself inspired. I find that sometimes, as much as I feel about something, if I am watching videos about people that feel the same way about it and are talking about all these new innovative ways or solutions to achieve that goal that I also have, it really encourages me and it helps me to stay motivated in my everyday, more sustainable life. And that is something that I encourage you to do. And my 10th tip is to remember the why. Why are you doing this? Why are you watching this video right now? Why do you want to be more sustainable? Is it because you want your home to look all Pinterest perfect? Is it because your life partner is into this stuff and you want to go alongside the road with them? Is it because you truly care about the environment and what's happening to it and you want to make a change? Just remember what your reason is, what is right for you. Keep your head in the game, keep your head on that prize, and just keep walking straight toward that. I just want to say that I am in no way somebody that identifies as a zero waste living human. I'm not perfect, nobody is, and all these tips are things that I'm also telling myself so that I can be more sustainable too. And I hope that any of these tips was inspiring, motivating to you, and that you go out there and use what you have. If you have any other tips, if you thought of anything that I didn't say, or if you've heard other people say other things that you think could contribute to the ongoing conversation about what is more sustainable, feel free to put it in the comments. I would love to hear all about how you are living sustainably. That all said, enjoy your day. Bye.